Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chesswise. Today we are at the next topic, that is the middle game position explained, and we are at the fifth position of our middle game position explained. So let's have a look at this position. It is white to play. We see that both kings are quite unsafe. Black is threatening queen e3 check and nd4 check, and we see that the white king is not feeling that safe. Same we can say about the black king. The only thing is the black king might be able to escape from the d8 square. Once it reaches d8, the king will be very safe. Black rooks are the defenders here. They are guarding some important squares, like rook's entry on the h7 is guarded by the h8 rook, and knight g6 check is guarded by the g8 rook. So the squares which we see that are actually weak are the e6, f7 and d7 squares, the squares near the king. And white felt here that if he is not able to do anything by force, then black's threats are also very dangerous. Black is already threatening knight d4. So white immediately went into some calculation. We see three candidate moves which we must see. One is knight g6 check. The knight enters the attack, new piece enters the attack. Another rule says the big piece must attack. So queen e6 check, one of the most obvious checks. And if the queen wants to enter e6 and e7, so king is guarding both, so comes the move rook f7 check in mind. So white started his calculation accordingly. So queen e6 check, king d8. Immediately he rejected, because after queen e6, k d8, we see that no more checks are possible, and knight d4 is fork also. Queen e3 check is also very dangerous. Rook would be hanging. So white left this line. Similarly, if we look into knight g6, we see that after knight g6, rook g6, queen is attacked. If queen takes g6, black is not going to take rook h1, because then rook f7 would mate. But after knight g6, rook g6, queen g6, black can queen e3 check, which is very strong. So knight g6, rook g6, queen g6, queen e3, forcing the king down on d1 or f1, when rook into h1 would be checked. Let's play the moves now. Knight g6, rook g6, queen into g6. Do note that the h8 rook is supported. So queen e6 check, king d8, rook h8 was not met. Queen is guarding h8. And here after the move queen e3 check, it is white who is going to lose now. After kd1, there will be rook h1 check, king c2, rook c1 check, kb2, queen b3 check, king a2 and rook a1 mates. Black will end up winning the game. Of course, white player realized this and he wanted to make the moves as forced as possible. So he went into his next line, that is rook f7 check. After rook f7, we see that this time ke8 and kd8 both lose to qd7 check. Now, after rook f7 check, king f7 is forced. See, the reason I am not playing the moves at first is so that we develop our imagination. We try to remember where the pieces are, then find the moves and calculate further, like the players or the masters do during their games. So rook f7, king f7. Now there are two very important checks, queen e6 and d7. In fact, both are winning, but queen d7 check allows two options, f8 and f6. The king f6 option will bring the king out, and it is a bit longer one. So white went first in the move queen e6. Let's see what he thought. Rook f7, king f7, queen e6 check. If king f8, then rook f1 check, forcing the king to g7. When queen into g6, we see that it's checkmate. Let's play the moves. Rook f7, kf7, queen e6 check, king f8, rook f1 check, kg7 and queen g6 checkmate. Knight is supporting the queen. After the move rook f7, king f7, queen e6 check, there is the line king g7. When there are many ways of winning, but the most forced is the move queen e7 check. Queen g6, king can go to f8 and the variations can become longer. After queen e7 check, we are forcing the king on the rook's line. And when there are various ways to mate, one of the simplest is knight f5 double check. The g5 square is guarded by the queen, rook gives check, knight gives check. So after rook f7, kf7, queen e6, kg7, qe7 check, one of the strongest, king h6, and here we see knight f5 double check. Also there are other moves which can lead to win, like just knight coming to f3 is also checkmate, but the double check is strongest. So this position was slightly easy, I would say, but both had their chances, so it was necessary for white to force things, hence I took this position. In the upcoming videos we will have positions with more lines, more variations, that is, and more deeper. I hope you are finding these lessons useful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.